On this day, 20 years ago, Steven Spielberg released his film War of the Worlds. To which I say, on this day, 5 years ago, we started our first trivia night. So, you know, like, we're up there with the greats.
This is the war of our worlds.
Right, yeah. Exactly. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the, I don't know, fifth annual, sixth annual. It's been up there. We started in 2020 for our trivia nights. My name is Kyle Springer. I am joined by Melissa Wilkinson. Melissa, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm delighted to be here on episode 299.
Yeah, we're so close to 300. In 2 weeks' time, I will be out there in St. Louis visiting you for episode 300, which will be exciting. I bought us some. Oop, they're still on the charger. I bought us some lavalier mics.
Ooh, so that we fuzzy.
We can attach them to our shirts or our backpacks as we're exploring downtown and get some interview stuff and.
We're not going downtown. We're going to the City Museum and the Arch, maybe.
There you go.
Not downtown. And I don't think it's going to work if we put them on our backpacks. I expect you to have better recording knowledge than that. Okay.
It's supposed to be in the center, like dead center of your chest. But yeah, I mean, if it's just a little slightly off to the side, it's fine.
Okay. On our straps,
not like
sure.
Back in the backpack.
Right. Like, these supposed to be very good microphones.
Hello, Melissa. How are you back there? Anyways, how are you?
I'm good. My mom would like to take us out to a rich Italian meal while you're in town.
Oh, wow. That's exciting. I would love that. That would be fantastic. Would love to. I'm excited. We got some stuff coming up down the road planned out for episode 300. But this is episode 299, like you said, Melissa. We are not there yet, but we are here to do a bunch of trivia and good times like that. We would normally have Ignacio join us here on the show, and unfortunately, he could not make it. He is out in Japan.
A very good excuse.
Right, yeah. I was like, come on, Ignacio, Japan, right? No, he has a good excuse. I actually don't know exactly why he's out there, but he's out there.
Fun.
Yeah.
He's
I
seeing the big Gundam. You're not.
You're right, yeah. To be honest, he probably is. It's like, how did they make that giant Gundam from an electrical engineering standpoint?
He knows how they do all of that. He's running tests on the trains.
Right? Something like that. We miss Ignacio. Shout out to him. Hopefully we can get him back on the show sometime soon to see what he's been up to. Because it's always fun to check in with him. But yeah, I'm kind of itching to go here on the trivia stuff. So I might hit our housekeeping button a little early so we can just get that out of the way and we can jump right into our questions and stuff like that. We will be right back. Thank you so much for checking out this podcast. We hope you're enjoying it. If you didn't know, we make multiple different shows here at the Whatnauts, and a lot of hard work goes into making them, so we would love it if you check them all out. But none of this is possible without your support. Head over to patreon.com/thewhatnauts and you can get access to over 40 hours of exclusive content, including our Patreon first podcast, The Pilots Club, when you sign up at our $3 tier. Of course, there is a free version of the Pilots Club available, but episodes are exclusive to our Patreon for 2 years before they hit the free feeds. If you're interested in buying merch, we have shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more for sale over at thewhatnauts.com/store. Another great way to help us out is by subscribing and leaving a nice rating and review on your podcasting app of choice. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel for video versions of the show, trailer reactions, and live streams. And lastly, you can always find out more information about the shows we make on our website, thewhatnauts.com. right, we are back once again. A big shout out to our Patreon supporters. We love you a lot.
Thank
you. Over on the Pilots Club, Murder, She Wrote was the episode we released at the start of this past month. Burn Notice is what we will be recording tomorrow night. So be on the lookout for that for July. Then over on the Free Pilots Club feed, we released our episode on Cheers, but the one coming out for July will be on a Netflix show called Cable Girls. More of a... oh God, my mind is blanking right now. Not a sitcom, a soap opera.
No,
it's more soap opera-y. Is what Cable Girls is. So good stuff happening over there on the Pilots Club. Right here on the Captain's Log. Last episode, Melissa went to the opera. Got to explain that there are new operas out. I didn't,
all the time.
I didn't know that. Yeah, which is kind of fascinating.
I've been to 2 more operas since then.
Oh, wow.
I went to the opera last night.
Even newer.
No, these ones are older. Old ones. It's like old operas were trying to reach a word limit. They just say the same things over and over and over again. Because the point is that you hear the singing. The point is not the beauty of the lyrics themselves. So it's like,
not the rhyme
that
scheme.
Is bad. I agree that is bad. Are you telling me it's bad? Yes, it's bad. Just for 2.5 hours.
Wonderful. I thought about having an opera-related trivia question, and I decided not to, but apparently there's an opera that's like 16 hours long.
Probably.
And they break it up into 4 different sections and usually do like one section a night. So it spans like 4 nights. Anyways, we got to talk about the opera. You also went to go see The Life of Chuck and had some interesting thoughts on that. We also got to talk about some good and bad customer service experiences right here on the podcast. So go check out the Captain's Log from last week. Then over on the review show, we talked about a movie called Le Mans. This is a racing film from I think it was late 70s, right? Or early 70s. I don't remember exactly. It's in the 70s for sure.
Very 70s.
I want to say it's like 71.
71, you got it.
Yeah, I nailed it. Okay. Steve McQueen stars in Le Mans, and it is kind of his passion project for racing and the spirit and culture around racing too. So Le Mans, the actual Le Mans race here in 2025 also took place like 2 weeks ago now. So that is partly why we wanted to check out this Le Mans movie. But there's also an F1 movie that came out. I went to go see it in IMAX.
Me too.
Yeah, and I think tomorrow night we will also be recording some thoughts on that over on the Reactor Core. So be excited for all the stuff we got coming up. Lots of cool things. So good stuff over there. But that is it for housekeeping. So let's get into our trivia questions. Okay, so since Ignacio is not here with us, we have decided to did not really do things differently, but up the number of questions we typically have. I think when he was here, we did 10 each. But we have decided to do 12 each, and then we have a kind of activity, a visual round, so to speak, at the end to wrap things up. So... yeah, I have 12 questions. I'm pulling up my notes here. Would you like me to start or would you like to go first? Okay.
I always like to go second. You'll see why.
I remembered that. Okay, so I have a variety of different topics here in my questions. I actually started writing my questions like the week or so after we did our trivia from last year. So I've been slowly writing these out, or at least like taking notes, like make a question about this thing. So that was a new experience for me, and it helped out a lot. Though I had to finish up my questions yesterday as I was watching Squid Game season 3. And so I would write a question and then reward myself by watching another episode, and then write a question and then reward myself by watching
Good
another
study
episode.
skills.
Right. Yeah.
I'm happy it was alternating and you're not trying to read subtitles while you're on a second screen experience Googling defunct McDonald's products or whatever it is you're going to ask me about.
Well, here we go. Question number 1. Defunct McDonald's product. No, kidding. Let's start here. Stanley Lieber, more commonly known as Stan Lee, has been the face of Marvel Comics for decades. But you may not know that his younger brother also did some work for Marvel. What is Stan Lee's younger brother's name? Is it Thomas, Larry, Anthony, or Daniel?
Larry.
You are correct. Larry is his name. He has that double L alliteration. Larry Lieber.
Okay. Did he publish under Lieber?
To be honest, I don't remember. I think so. He only did some minor work, and off the top of my head, I don't remember. I got this question because I read the Untold History of Marvel Comics book, which is a fantastic book. Highly recommend it. I will probably be re-recommending that book over on the review show down the road when we do our summer writing book. But yeah, just to be like, oh, like I think I knew he had a brother. I didn't know that he actually had some published work for Marvel, which is kind of interesting.
I hope he did a Johnny Storm solo series, Little Brothers writing Little Brothers.
Right, yeah. Good stuff. Can I ask you to keep score? Is that okay with you? Yeah. And that way we can tally it up at the end and keep track of who has the most points.
I'm on it.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Question number 2. The first use of the word cocktail in the United States dates back to 1803. But it wasn't until 3 years later, in 1806, that the definition of a cocktail as an alcoholic beverage first appeared. The word cocktail also referred to a specific drink that you can still get today. What is the name of this cocktail today? Is it a Sazerac, a Manhattan, an old-fashioned, or a martini?
I think it is an old-fashioned. That's why an old-fashioned is called an old-fashioned, because it's the original recipe.
You are also correct. An old-fashioned. So, yeah, the cocktail, the recipe was spirits, sugar, water, and bitters. But it didn't specify what spirit you could have in there. So you could ask for a cocktail, and if all they had was tequila, they would put tequila in. But people really liked it with whiskey, of course. But then as ingredients started to become more expansive or more readily available, that's when you started coming up with different recipes of like, I like it made this specific way. And I almost wrote this question differently, in which the first named cocktail would have been the Sazerac.
I know it's an old one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first one with a name. And if you didn't like that one, you'd be like, no, I want the old-fashioned one. And that's how it got the name, the old-fashioned. So there you go. Good stuff. Cool. Good stuff with that. Yeah. Okay, question number 3. There are over 7,159 languages in use today. And new languages are emerging all the time. Currently, Afrikaans is the youngest officially recognized language. What year was it officially recognized in? Is it 1923, 1924, 1925, or 1926?
Okay. I was expecting like 2008.
Right.
The year Chappie came out, they legalized Afrikaans as a language. I'll say, I don't know, 1926.
Incorrect. 1926
Oh.
is not right. Happy 100 years to Afrikaans. It is 1925 is when it was officially recognized. Yeah. There are, of course, new languages emerging all the time. There are newer languages out there. Some that I had seen as I was researching this, like only 350 people in the world speak it. And stuff like that. But it is like the official language of this small town. It's just not officially recognized by any government or stuff like that. So I thought that was fascinating. Good stuff. I unfortunately only speak English, and I'm not great at it. Okay, Melissa, here's one. I hope you'll get this one. There are a hell of a lot of Muppets out there. But of but of these 4 Muppets, one of them has not been in over 100 episodes of the Muppet Show. Which one of these 4 has been in under 100 episodes?
It's so specific.
Is it Kermit, Gonzo, Scooter, or Ralph the dog?
Oh. Gonzo.
Incorrect. It is Ralph the dog, who I think has been on like 99 or 98.
Oh,
he's like right there.
I thought Scooter is a stage manager. So I would imagine he serves a functional narrative purpose to be in just about every episode. Yeah. Rolf is one of the oldest Muppets. I think he's like the oldest after Kermit. Rolf has been his name isn't Ralph. Rolf has been around for quite a long time.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw this based on a thread that someone put up on Blue Sky. And it was interesting. It was right after the Game Awards that year. And Jeff Keighley, who hosts that, often likes to incorporate the Muppets into his show somehow. And that year he had, what's their names? Waldorf and Statler, right?
Yes.
And it was a fact that, hey, only 2 Muppets have been in all 120 episodes of the Muppet Show. But that's both technically right and technically wrong, because I forget which one is which now. But actually, let me see. I have the link here somewhere. I can open this up. This is from Ryan Estrada, who I had on an old episode of the review show, or the Whatnauts podcast a long time ago. He's written many comics and stuff like that. He says only 2 characters appeared in every episode of The Muppet Show: Kermit the Frog and Waldorf.
Weird.
And then he says, why Waldorf but not Statler? It's because in one episode, Waldorf came to the show with his quote unquote wife, Astoria. So it's actually 3 if you, like most, assume that Astoria is just Statler in drag.
Good.
So yeah, he was like, it's maybe technically they're all 3 in there for all of them, but you know, this is Astoria here. So I was like, that's interesting, and I was trying to write a question about that actually. But I was like, I don't know. I feel like I could do a true or false thing, but either answer is technically correct, so you'd get a point either way. I don't know. But then he also said in his thing, he said something else that's interesting to note is that there are 4 members of Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem that have more appearances than Dr. Teeth himself.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Of course, Animal is up there, stuff like that. So, and he's pulling all those numbers from the like fandom.com wiki page that they have up there. So, fascinating stuff. All right. Let's see here. Question number 5. Bob's Burgers is currently on its 15th season. And while many things in life change, the price of one of Bob's Burgers' specials of the day remains the same, has not changed since the show began. How much is one of Bob's Burgers' specials of the day? Is it $5.95, $5.99, $6.95, or $6.99?
I'm going to say $5.99.
Close. $5.95.
Mm.
Indeed. Shout out to Bob's Burgers. Fun show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 6. This is one that when I heard this one, I was just like, oh, I have to ask this for trivia. This is awesome. Which current foreign world leader was also the voice actor for Paddington in Paddington 1 and 2 in their respective country? Is it Emmanuel Macron, the French president? Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian president? Gabriel Boric, the Chilean president? Or Lee Jae-myung, the South Korean president?
How do you have time to be a president and a Paddington? Why isn't Ben Whishaw also the prime minister then? Shouldn't he have that much time on his hands?
I don't know.
Oh. I'm going to guess the Chilean president.
It was not. It is Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian president.
I never heard this before because he's in the news all the time. I think he simulcasted into the Oscars one year and they didn't mention this guy dubs the voice of Paddington.
So not only is it crazy that, he is the voice of Paddington, he did not get called back for Paddington 3 because he's in a war against Russia right now. That's why he got recast. But he used to be an actor before he was a politician. He was an actor and comedian, a stand-up comic. So he would do stand-up, and he eventually got cast in some television shows. Apparently, one of his more famous roles is playing a former comedian turned actor who then makes a stint in politics and becomes the president of the country in the show. And now that has happened to him in real life.
This is like if we elected a President Terry Crews.
Right.
just like in the movie.
Just oh my God. It like how? It feels fake. But it's not. This is what actually happened to him, which is just wild.
I can't wait for Paddington 4 stopping a war.
Right, yes.
Paddington 4 war is over. He's going to solve
Paddington 4, war no more.
He can do it.
It's so wild. Zelensky was the voice actor for Paddington in the Ukrainian release of...
and you have to tell me. What's the most unbelievable is that nobody has told me prior to you today.
Right.
Why?
How has this not been a more like this is something I feel like people would love knowing. Just like, how crazy is that? So incredible. Blew my mind. Okay, staying in the sphere of actors, I found this one out recently. Which of these actors, who have all also been in something that we have covered in the review show, auditioned to play Steve on Blue's Clues? Is the answer Adam Brody, Jake Gyllenhaal, Andrew Garfield, or Ryan Gosling?
Is this in the American Blues Clues, or is it an international variant?
From what I understand, the American one.
Okay.
I guess I'm not aware of like international versions of Blues.
I think they have
Clues,
international. It doesn't matter. I was just
Right, yeah.
curious.
Zelensky also played Steve.
I'm going to say Ryan Gosling.
Incorrect, unfortunately. It was Adam Brody, the kid detective.
That's cute. That's cute. I like that. He would have been good there.
Yeah,
Jake Gyllenhaal would have been too manic. Blues would have become Zodiac.
Well, so I chose actors that are all around the same age.
Good.
I think
yes.
Adam Brody is like 44 right now ish. So that's about the age range that I picked for actors. At the time, he had been like 18, 19, something like that. It was back in like 1999. So, yeah, he was on a press tour recently for, I guess, a movie he's in right now. And that came out that he auditioned for that role. And like, that was his dream role. Like, he would have loved it. It was just like, I didn't get it. I was so upset. Like,
I've always wanted to work opposite a cartoon dog who solves mysteries. Nobody ever let me be Shaggy, so I thought I could do this.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, question number 8. This is a bit of a correction for us.
Ooh.
Over its 75-year history, how many F1 drivers have been awarded knighthood? Is it 2, 3, 4, or 5?
3?
Close. It is 4. 4 drivers have been awarded knighthood. There have been also other F1 employees that have been knighted, and other F1 related people that have gotten other honors from the royal family. But there have been 4 drivers that have been knighted. Jack Brabham, Sterling Moss, Jackie Stewart, and Lewis Hamilton.
You did not mention this when you told me your F1 debrief, so I figured it just hadn't happened yet.
Yes, and last week when we were talking about people being knighted, you mentioned something about, and soon we'll have Lewis Hamilton knighted, and it went over my head. I didn't catch it until after, and I was like, "Wait, I think he is knighted," and I looked it up, and
tell me this stuff.
So I was like, "Oh, that'll be a good trivia question."
Because if Gary Oldman is only getting around to being knighted now, I figured you get knighted like 10 years after you do something remarkable. So it's like we let it simmer for a little while. I don't think knighthoods always catch you when you're hot. They come to you later.
Yeah, but it is in fact Sir Lewis Hamilton.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. My next 2 questions are related to Superman. Since we have a Superman movie coming up, I'm excited about that one. So first up, the Kryptonians worship a sun god. What is the name of the Kryptonian sun god? Is it Roo, Ray, Raw, or Row?
Row.
You are correct. It is Row.
Hey.
R-A-O is how you spell it. Good one, good one, good one. Okay. Very early on in the first question, we had that double L alliteration. So when it comes to his love life, Clark Kent seems to have a type. It's nothing physical. It's not lofty looks or luscious lips. He seems to be attracted to people whose first and last names start with L's. He just keeps taking those L's, you know? Lois Lane, Lana Lang, Lori Lemeris, Lila Laryl, Lisa LaSalle. And if we don't have an Elseworld story with an enemies to lovers arc with Lex Luthor, we definitely should.
Hot. Too hot for screens.
Right, yeah. Which of these lovely ladies was actually a mermaid? Lana Lang, Lori Lemeris, Lila Laryl, or Lisa LaSalle?
I know the storyline you're talking about. I can't remember her name.
I've mentioned it on the show.
Is it Lemeris?
You are correct. Lori Lemeris, yeah. From what I remember, it was like college girlfriend. She's in a wheelchair, has a blanket over her legs, like all this stuff. And then like, oh, by the way, we can't be together. I'm a mermaid. I need to go back to my people and like do all of this. And he's just like,
there's a fishtail under here. Yeah,
right. Yeah. Like how did I not know you were a mermaid? Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, let's see. That was 9 and 10. So question 11. This is kind of St. Louis lore here.
Cool.
Because the soda 7-Up was originally created in St. Louis. But which of these rumors is not associated with the soda? That it was originally named Bib Label Lithiated Lemon Lime Soda. That the 7 refers to the atomic mass of lithium. That it was bottled in 7-ounce bottles, whereas Coca-Cola and other soft drinks were often bottled in 6-ounce bottles. Or that it originally had 7 secret ingredients that its creator, Charles Leeper Garrigue, claimed gave it a leg up on the competition, hence the name 7-Up.
Oh. A leg up on the competition sounds vaguely familiar. I know the first one is true. We had an old-timey sign in my house with the old-timey name for 7-Up, our neighbor. I'm going to say the bottles?
Incorrect. That is one of the like rumors about where it got its name. I was originally gonna ask what the original name was, but as I did
I could have told you. I'd never forgotten the phrase bib label.
Right, yeah. But according to the research I saw, that's maybe not necessarily true. It's contested that was the original name. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I don't do that. Let me do this stuff. And yeah, there were then like, if that's contested, then more people like put out other claims of like, oh no, this is how it's got its name. So that's why I was like, which of these rumors are or is not associated?
7-Up had one of its ribs removed. 7-Up died choking on a ham sandwich.
It's in Argentina with Tupac, right? It plays on some soccer team that
your uncle at Nintendo is 7-Up.
Right. Yeah. No, the one that is not associated with this, the one that I made up, is that it had 7 secret ingredients that gave it a leg up on the competition.
I think the phrase "a leg up" just sounds so correctly like it was part of an old-timey marketing scheme. So good job.
Right? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I believe this is my last regular question here. This one is all about Legos. Lego minifigs were first introduced in 1978. But their yellow color was meant to be ethnically neutral. But that changed in 2003 when Lego started to introduce more natural skin tones. True or false? Lando Calrissian and Kobe Bryant were among the first non-yellow Lego minifigs.
True.
You are correct. It is true. In the research I found, there actually seems to be debate on what the first non-yellow one is. It's not entirely clear, and I couldn't tell the exact reason why. Which is strange. You'd think you'd be able to like look up a production order of like when this stuff came out, but some people say it was Lando Calrissian, that there was a Star Wars set that started to introduce some non-yellow characters, and Lando was the first of those that made it in. Some say it was Kobe. And that they struck a deal with the NBA to introduce some of the players, and that the players got to pick the color that they were in they can
pick any color. Scottie Pippen, do you want to be blue? You can.
Well, that was actually a problem that came up, not in the sense that like I'm picking green because I want to be green, but like they realized that if they let them pick any skin tone, if they picked a skin tone for them, that they might run into some trouble. So they limited the number of colors and then decided to ask the people like, okay, of these 6, what one do you want to be? Not entirely clear of like which one was the actual first, but of the first ones that were non-yellow, that were human. I'll make a distinction with that because there were like robot characters. There was a skeleton. There was a statue that was all black. But that's a statue, right? Not a human, even though it's humanoid, right? But Star Wars, NBA, and Harry Potter were of the first like sets that had like started to introduce that. So, and there were older Star Wars sets that had all yellow characters. You could get a yellow Luke Skywalker and stuff like that.
Interesting.
So, yeah. Good stuff indeed. So those were my 12 regular characters. Do you want to wait for our visual rounds at the end here?
I just opened it up now. Kyle, this is so many.
Let me preface this. I went overboard here. We don't need to do, I think, all like 19 that I have on there. I originally planned to, I'll just do 10, but then I was like, oh, but I could do this. Oh, but I could do that. Ooh, but I could do this. And so it kind of got out of hand because I had fun making this. So
you encountered a real weapon of choice scenario where you could do this, you could do that, you could do this, you could do that. Then you went flying through a hotel.
So let me pull this up on screen here so everyone can see this as well. Why is that not doing it? It's not bringing it up on screen. That's strange. Okay, let me go to this guy. Bam, there we go. Oh man, that is bright on screen. Okay, so we have a matching game. Comic creator matchup. Melissa, you requested this. You requested a bunch of pictures of comic book creators and a list of names, and for you to match them. So,
because I realized for how often we talk about some of our faves, if you put them in a lineup, I could not identify Jeff Lemire to you.
Right. So that is what I did. I have a bunch of pictures of different comic book creators, all of which we have covered on the review show, except for one, which I feel
Do I
like
also have to identify that person?
Or I stand correct, except for two, which I think you'll be able to get regardless. So there are a couple of these that I feel like are shoo-ins, including Stan Lee. Right? You asked for a baseline. Let me just get this one here. So I will ask you to put the names of who you think the creator is next to their picture in column B. I have them all here in column A. You can copy and paste the name into column B. I have the names in column E just going down by themselves, or up at the very top here. I have just a word bank of all the names. If you want to cross them out or highlight the ones you've already put in there, you can. But I want to hear you do your thought process, why you put these names next to the creators.
Some of them are obvious. We all know Kyle, I can only view. I cannot edit. It looks like I'm disqualified.
Let's see here. Melissa, disqualified. Anyone with the link can edit. Done. Okay, you might have to refresh. But it should allow you to do that now. Good stuff. I thought this was a great activity when you suggested it.
This is not an activity. This is a final exam.
It's your SATs.
We all know Alan Moore looks like Rasputin. I think Jack Kirby is this guy pointing. He's hard at work. Nobody works harder than Jack Kirby, so he's the one pictured actually at his writing desk. I think that's Kelly Sue DeConnick with the fun hair.
Okay, we have a picture of a woman in bright red hair.
Who do we got? We got Stanley, of course. This is Larry's brother.
Right.
All right, let's go down the list. Junji Ito. All right, let me read our list of options. Stan Lee, Junji Ito, Mike Mignola, Tom King, Alan Moore, Jeff Lemire, Kelly Sue DeConnick, Kyle Higgins, Jim Lee, Elsa Chartier, Jeff Johns, Jack Kirby, Scott Snyder, Kieran Gillen, Gail Simone, Jody Hauser, James Tinian IV, Vita Alaya, and Jason Aaron.
And if you want me to clarify what they worked on, I can do that. I was hoping to save those towards the end, but if you ask, I will.
I'm trying to name
answer you.
The name Vita Ayala isn't familiar to me, but I also wonder if there's like an old school classic, like we've actually never encountered Jeff Johns specifically.
So I'll say you have covered most of the ones that I think should be shoo-ins. You got Stan Lee correct. Obviously, you got Alan Moore and Jack Kirby correct. So there is one other that we have not covered in here. So I will go there. If you want me to tell you what Vita Ayala worked on that we have covered over on the review show.
Okay.
So I will let you know.
Who is this person? What have they done?
They wrote Live Wire, the Valiant comic about the woman who can control the electricity.
Wow, I forgot all about. I mean, I remembered Live Wire, did not remember the staff names for Livewire, unfortunately. So thank you for going back there.
I will also say most of these creators are the writers. I don't have as many artists in here. I'll be honest, there are some artists that I don't even know what they look like in some of the things that we've covered.
Just mysterious.
Yeah. And there are, like, for example, I also don't have Rom V on here, and he likes to work with artists of the country of like the story he's telling a lot. Like he does a lot of work of like, this is set in India, and so he'll do an artist who lives and works in India, and I'm just not familiar with those names and stuff like that. So there you go.
Right. There's two bald bearded guys, and I think one is Mike Mignola and one is Tom King.
Okay.
This is going to take forever.
Just take a shotgun approach. Just start putting names down. Start crossing off the ones you've already used.
I'm having fun. I don't know if the listener is having fun.
So you put, there's a bald white guy in a gray button-up shirt with a darker gray t-shirt underneath. He has like a mostly white beard. You have put the name Tom King down for that one.
You describing all of these people auditorily is going to be a lot of fun. Guy in hoodie, guy not in hoodie.
The other bald white guy with a beard has a blue flannel looking button up. He has glasses, black glasses. His beard looks very neatly trimmed, but it is still a big bushy one, and it is that like salt and pepper colored. You have put Mike Mignola down for that one.
Can you guess who? It's a mystery.
Okay, there is a person with dark hair, and again looks like a jean jacket on. It looks like they're at a con or a convention that has one of those like long bendy mics right in front of their face. They are wearing glasses that seem to be, I feel like they're the ones that like change depending on if you're inside or outside, because they're darker, but they're not as dark as like sunglasses, right? You've put
incredible.
Gillen next to this name.
You should have saved housekeeping for now and let me guess in quiet while Kyle from the past tells people about our Patreon.
I want to hear your thoughts of like why you are putting Elsa Chartier next to this first picture that I have here. Is it something about her clothes, the way she that like stern stare she's giving?
She's got fine, lovely lines to her face that remind me of the way Elsa Chartier draws.
Okay.
I think Junji Ito is the one with the mischievous grin.
Let me find where you put Junji Ito. Junji Ito. Okay. Right next to this man who is smiling. He's in a black shirt on a black background. He's an Asian man with graying hair.
See, making himself look like just a floating head is exactly what Junji Ito would do. Now, behind this lady with the auburn hair and glasses and scarf, it says Deconic back there. But I think this is... Who else do we have? I think that's Gail Simone.
Okay.
The guy beneath her looks like a DC superhero. He is like such clean... He's just like a strong jaw. He looks like this guy definitely writes Superman. He looks like a Superman. Am I wrong?
It's funny because I know who all these people are, and like it's just like whoever you put is gonna be interesting to me. But also, like what you say can be like, oh, that's why you picked them. That's really funny.
um, oh,
Which could go either way. That could be like, oh, spot on, or like, oh, wow, you are so wrong about that.
right. That's Mike Mignola, actually. Mostly he writes about little goblins.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's the guy in between the two redheaded women who kind of looks like Martin Starr. I know I've seen that face before.
Okay. Yeah, he's in a t-shirt with a little bit shorter sleeves. It looks like he has a pink skull on his shirt.
He looks like Martin Starr.
Yeah. He has a
it's Martin Starr Canadian.
Glasses.
Okay, I got to narrow in on which of these men looks the most Canadian, and that's Jeff Lemire. Oh, who's our Canadian?
The hunt for
Sniff
Jeff
him
Lemire.
out. He smells like maple. Who is that? Who's our maple? It's our Dudley Do-Right here. Oh, it's this guy. It's number 5. He's in shadow. He looks sad. So that's Jeff Lemire.
Jeff Lemire's iconic sad look.
Oh.
Now, what's interesting is that in some of the comics we have read, there have been artist interpretations of some of these.
I know. I remember that happened, but I did not retain the little drawing of them.
Yeah.
I just got to keep going down the list. Is this James Tynion the 4th? I don't know.
Let's see if we can find where you're writing this.
This is hard. Mine's not as hard. And mine has a very
struggle. I only read the title you wrote for the thing of the link. I've not looked at it yet. I was like, okay, I'm in for.
Mine's only hard. 5 and 1 is a gimme, and you'll see why.
I figured the one gimme is who I think it is. But
there's this guy at number 9 who's standing he's in front of a comic book convention, like standee with some eyes on it. I don't know if I recognize that eye or not. It's like a heavily lined red eye. The picture's
I will
kind
say
of
I don't think we've covered the comic that art is from.
Okay, that's not a clue.
No. If that is art from the book I'm thinking it is, we have not covered it. But yeah. This guy is also mostly bald. He has a short beard and glasses.
It's like Alan Moore has all of the hair for all comic book writers, and everybody else has to scrounge for scraps.
Though I should show you a picture of Rom V, because he also has just some incredible hair.
He sounds like he would. Just the name of a nice hair.
What was wild to me is because I thought about putting him on there, but I decided not to. But when I was looking up pictures of him, I saw some pictures from when he was younger and when he had shorter hair. And I was like, oh my God, he looks so different. And then I see the one of he just has this long, luscious hair, this neatly trimmed beard, looks incredible. So it's really funny to see comic creators in different phases of their life.
Let's see.
Okay, so you've put
Maybe
James
this person with
Tynion the 4th.
I think that this person looks like they have hair like Livewire. I'm going to put the name of the writer of Livewire.
Okay. So you put Vida Ayala next to this person. Black person with big curly hair in a like plaid green button up and like an olive green sweater on top of that.
So many descriptions of nondescript clothing.
Right. It's like you're not going to get them based off my descriptions of who they are if you're only listening to the audio.
Who looks like they're the fourth in a line? Who carries themselves like the fourth of something? Oh, I think this number 14 looks stern. I don't know what he's so stern about. Maybe he's the fifth. James Tinian the fourth. He's the fourth. And he carries himself the energy of, there's been 3 more of me. I am the latest in a line. This is my house.
Oh, so funny.
All right. Some of these, tell me, what has Jodie Houser worked on?
She did Faith.
Faith. Oh, I was just at Faith. Gosh, oh dang, that's a gender neutral name. I didn't know who I was looking at for a Jodie.
So I something that was interesting to me is that I feel like the look of Faith's like civilian identity in the comics almost looks like Gail Simone. And I noticed that as putting her pictures up. I was like, huh, that's striking.
All right, I'm going to say maybe number 4 is Jodie Houser. And then this number 14 also looks British. So now I'm actually going to say that's Kieran Gillen. I'm not copy pasting. I'm typing. So these are not spelled wrong. Who's fourth? Who's 4? I'm trying to put these faces and read 4.
Let's see here.
All right.
Let's make sure I spell their name right.
Which of these guys looks like people died in the woods? Some kids died in the woods and he wrote about it. Is it number 11? Because he's in the woods.
Number 11. This is the guy with the pink skull on his shirt. James Tinian the fourth.
Jason Aaron. Jason Aaron is Thor.
Correct.
So I'm left with, okay, what's Kyle Higgins?
He did the Power Rangers comics that we read.
Okay, that's helpful. Power Rangers. I'm going to say it's number 13 because he looks like an action figure.
Okay. I love it.
I mean, sculpted like an action figure.
You're not wrong. He has just this great jawline. It's incredible.
So I'm left with Jason Aaron, Jeff Johnson, Scott Snyder. Man, number 8, the guy who kind of looks like Will Buxton is throwing me off. I can't get a read on him. Let's see. This
is so fun. This is great.
And the names I'm left with are names of note. Where like I know I have seen a picture of that guy before. So it's just a random assortment. All right, so let's say the guy at the Comic-Con is Jason Aaron. Will Buxton is Scott Snyder. And number 2, who I've said nothing about. It's a very nice photo. It's like a professional photo shoot photo, whereas nobody else has one. So I wonder if that is somebody with as many credits to their name as Jeff Johns. I didn't type Jeff Johns already, did I? No. All right.
No.
I'm done.
Okay. Well, let's go through and reveal the answers. So let's see. I'll just go down the list here. Photo 1, this woman in this like brightly colored dress. You are correct. That is Elsa Chartier.
recognized her like an old friend.
Yeah. Number 2 here, who you put down as Jeff Johns. That is incorrect. This is Tom King.
Oh,
Yeah, this is Tom King here. Let's see if I can.
good for him. That was his I'm writing a Supergirl movie photo shoot. Some people get their picture taken when they get engaged. He's like, I'm writing the Supergirl movie.
Right.
Take me to the studio. I want a nice headshot.
Yeah. Of course, Stan Lee, Larry's brother, is a shoo-in, right? That was the one you were like, put his one in there. So I can at least get one. So we got that right. Up next, this is, you had originally put someone else's name down here. I forget who it was now, but you got this correct. This is Jody Hauser.
Okay. I can see the Tumblr in this person.
Yeah.
Which I don't mean as an insult.
You were also able to correctly sniff out the maple syrup. That is Jeff Lemire.
It's the saddest.
He's not even like he's not even like sad. He just has a straight face, but there's this like real harsh lighting from one side. Yes. So that like he's like lit up good on one side and then in shadow on one side. Yeah. So yeah, good job on that. You also got Vita Ayala correct. That is them. So this next one, who you wrote down as Tom King, that is in fact not Tom King. That is Mike Mignola.
Oh dang. Oh, I wrote the wrong bearded bald guy.
Yeah. Rats, right? There you go. So next up, you wrote down Scott Snyder. This is in fact Scott Snyder. Batman, Court of Owls. Yeah. Indeed. Go back up and look. Do we need to name any of the things that these people did? I don't think so. Okay, cool. After this, we got this guy that you were thrown off by the art in the Comic-Con kind of panel behind him. You wrote down Jason Aaron. This is, in fact, Karen Gillan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. There are Gillan books that look like that.
Yeah. Next up, number 10, this woman with the bright red hair. You wrote down Kelly Sue DeConnick. That is correct. Her signature, like bright red hair.
Right. That's the one thing to cling to.
Yes. You guys can get a glimpse of her in the Captain Marvel movie. She makes an Easter egg appearance, I think, as one of them is going on or off the subway. I don't remember exactly, but there's a woman with this bright red hair. Okay, next up, number 11. This is the guy with the pink skull on his shirt. You had someone else's name there first, but you said this was James Tinney in the fourth.
Because he wrote Something is Killing the Children, which is set in the woods, and this photo is in the woods.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're correct. That's James Tinney in the fourth. Nailed it.
That thinking paid off. Incredible.
Yeah, James Tinney in the fourth. Great stuff. Next up, this woman, again with red hair, a little more of a natural look to the red hair. You did catch my red herring in the background there. No pun intended, but also there is the name, like you see part of the name DeConnick in the background there. That is, in fact, Gail Simone. We read her Red Sonja comics. So good stuff with that. Next up, number 13, Mr. Action Figure. Mr. Probably writes for DC Comics. You wrote down Kyle Higgins. This is incorrect. This is Jeff Johns.
Oh, my God. Oh, he does look like a Green Lantern. I knew he was like one of them. Yeah. I thought this guy looks like DC. Somehow,
which is like,
he does.
He's Mr. DC Comics. Yes, exactly. That's why I was laughing so hard.
For as long as I've heard about Jeff Johns, I think I was imagining a slightly older man. And that's the only reason why I veered to the Power Rangers guy.
Yeah. of Jeff Johns' stuff, we read Flashpoint and Shazam and the Seven Magic Lands of his. And then, of course, he's been mentioned and named in a number of DC projects as he's helped to contribute to stuff that we've covered on the review show. Next up, you wrote down Karen Gillan. We know that that is incorrect now that we have found out who the correct Karen Gillan is. This guy is Mr. Power Rangers. This is Kyle Higgins.
His face is so serious to have written the Power Rangers comics.
Sometimes it's hard to find good photos of these people. Not that this is a bad photo of Kyle Higgins. It's perfectly
it looks
fine.
Like is this looks like the photo from like an insurance print ad that says like home security. Like when burglars came to my house, I knew what I had to do to protect my family. ADT, home insurance.
I called the Power Rangers.
So stern and so grave. This is not the guy who brought us Bulk and Skull, but okay.
Yeah. So next up, I put these two characters together. Like, not characters, but they are characters in their own right.
I bet so.
You have mixed them up.
Oh, dang.
I put the two Asian guys next to each other. This first one you wrote down as Jim Lee. That is not Jim Lee. That is, in fact, Junji Ito. Oops, let's see. Junji Ito. There you go. And the smiling one here, the big smile on his face, is, in fact, Jim Lee.
Okay.
Yeah. Junji Ito is just this, like, for as insane as some of his horror comics can be, he's just this real calm, quiet, reserved man.
Just a dude.
He's just a dude with his cats at home, just living his life. And then the books he puts out are just insane, right? So, yeah, Jim Lee, he's the one with the big smile on his face. I usually see him with a big smile on his face. He seems just like a real happy, smiling guy.
He's probably made bank.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now he is the publisher of DC Comics, right? Something like that. I know he streams on Twitch of just like him drawing stuff like that, or at least he used to. Yeah, he's made some bank. He is one of the ones that we have not really covered any of his stuff. We maybe saw like a variant cover of one of the books we read, but yeah, who knows? Jack Kirby, of course, you got that correct. We now know that this one is incorrect. This is not Mike Mignola. You got another bald, bearded white guy incorrect. This is in fact Jason Aaron, who wrote the Thor. Yeah.
There's something about his face that does say mythology, so I knew it was one of the two.
Yeah, he's more recently been writing the Scrooge McDuck comics. Yep.
Probably also has a lot of mythology. They go find Brigadoon or something.
Something like that, yeah. Yeah. So, and then of course, last but not least, Alan Moore in his just absolute wizard looking haircut. Or lack thereof, right? Good stuff.
Okay.
Good stuff.
So, out of the 12 text questions, and I got 5 correct. Lots of new knowledge this time. Thank you for teaching me things that I can learn. Doesn't mean a lot of points, but it means learning. And I have 11 right from the comic book visual round. So it's a total of 16.
Nice.
Now mine, this is going to throw off our numbers because my visual round is only 4.
Do really we want to 4. Not count the visual things towards a score and just have that just be a fun bonus thing?
Maybe. Okay. Yeah. So I'm 5, and then a visual 11.
That works.
Wow. That was fun.
Good.
Stressful, but fun. All right. Kyle, it is time for my questions for you.
Ooh. Here we go.
And while I miss our friend Ignacio, his absence did mean that I could write a set of questions specifically for you, Kyle. And to mark the occasion of episode 299 of the Captain's Log, these are all questions about the Captain's Log.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We're going to test your memory of shit you actually said.
Sure, yeah.
You and me. Question 1. From episode 98, enter Sandlord. Who or what is Sandlord? Is Sandlord a nickname for Paul Atreides, a sandcastle building competition, a brand of hacky sack, or my mom almost remembering Adam Sandler's name?
Oh, man. Ooh, I'm gonna go. What episode number was it again?
98.
98. Oh man, I'm gonna. What were we doing back in episode 98? I'm gonna go with Paul Atreides. I don't think that's right though, but I'm gonna go with Paul Atreides.
Let me tell you when this episode was. This was June 2020, so not impossible that by that time we could have been talking about the new Dune movie. However, Sandlord is a hacky sack.
Sandlord is a sack. Well, can't even speak. Oh my god. Interesting.
Question 109, not question 109. From episode 109, Dia de los Diaz, the first ever cinema corner. This happened summer of 2020, so the full original name was Melissa's Cinema Corner, parentheses, the cinema is her couch, because I'm stuck inside. The first ever cinema corner featured 3 movies starring Cameron Diaz. Which of these was not included? Charlie's Angels, The Mask, Being John Malkovich, or My Best Friend's Wedding? In August 2020, which of these Cameron Diaz movies did I not watch?
I'm going to say The Mask in hopes that you were saving it for the review show.
No, I definitely watched The Mask and I had a wonderful time. It was Charlie's Angels. I only saw Charlie's Angels for the first time like a couple months ago, and it's a real hoot.
Okay. 0 for 2.
From episode 112, Thinking About Gumby, what actor did we fan cast as a live action Gumby?
God.
Was it Bill Skarsgård, Bill Hader, Jim Carrey, or Conan O'Brien?
The funny thing is, I remember going through all of these like the like descriptions of our episodes as I'm trying to write the like, what the hell were we talking about? Little bits that I do. So now I'm on the receiving end of that. It's great. What the hell are we talking about? Who did we fan cast as Gumby? And I think I remember recently looking at this one.
It's not in the episode description. We didn't.
Right.
I don't think we wrote it down.
Dang. Can you read the options?
Do you want your choices again?
Yes, please.
Bill Skarsgård, Bill Hader, Jim Carrey, Conan O'Brien.
I'm going to go with Conan.
It makes sense. His hair's got the funny little point like Gumby's head. No, we said Bill Hader.
That would have been my next one, man. I don't think it was Bill Skarsgård. That's an interesting choice considering what else he's been in, right?
Right.
But I don't remember that, and I for some reason was just gravitating towards like I feel like there's something funny with Conan O'Brien being Gumby in there. So, oh well.
From episode 125, Yelling at the Island. We spent the first episode of 2021 looking at the IMDb page for what superhero movie flop. Was it Green Hornet, Green Lantern, Jonah Hex, or Howard the Duck?
I'm going to say Green Hornet. I vaguely remember us talking about that in some capacity at some point on the show, and I don't think you had seen it, and I don't think you believed that certain people were in that movie. I think Green Hornet.
I don't know what timeline you're in, because I know nothing about Green Hornet. I don't even know what I don't know. We looked at the IMDb for Green Lantern. Did you remember that Mark Strong played Sinestro, and that both Taika Waititi and Boba Fett are in that movie?
Did not know that Taika Waititi was in that. Though
I don't remember what he did
because we were obviously looking at the thing, but I don't remember that.
Tamura Morrison, I remembered it. That's Boba Fett's name.
No, I remember us having the conversation about Green Hornet where you did not know anything, and so that's why I think in the little that I mentioned you were like, wait, what? Like, what's going on in this movie? So that's why I picked that one. Green Lantern, though, oh well.
From episode 146, A Panda Lives Inside, we fantasy drafted our dream malls. You decided to give your mall 4-quadrant appeal for better financial security by including what store that you personally wouldn't shop in. You're like, I need a wide variety of people coming to my mall to ensure my mall is successful, so I'm going to draft blank. Did you draft Oshkosh Bagosh, American Girl, Limited 2, or Victoria's Secret?
I don't think I would have put Oshkosh Bagosh in there to draw people in.
People have babies. Babies need to wear little overalls. They must.
Right. I think you want to go for that teen girl demographic. So I think you want to go Limited 2.
Kyle, that is exactly what you said.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's your first correct answer all game. In episode 147, the pink episode, you ordered the McDonald's BTS meal and had it DoorDashed to you by the end of the episode. The McDonald's BTS meal was a 10-piece chicken McNugget and what 2 sauces? I'm going to give you more than 4 options. Name which 2 sauces came with the BTS meal. Was it Cajun, Thai peanut, peppercorn ranch, sweet chili, wasabi mayo, or butter? Just butter, like the song.
You said one was sweet chili, right?
Yes.
I think one of them was that.
Uh-huh.
And then
what was the other?
That there was a peanut option, right?
Thai peanut.
I think it was those two, Thai peanut and sweet chili.
You're half right. It was sweet chili and Cajun, weirdly enough.
That's right. I remember that now, of them being like, what? Why? What does this have to do with BTS? Do they just like Cajun food?
I don't know. You ate it. I didn't.
Well, in related BTS news, I think the final member of BTS has just finished his military stuff that he had to do. So maybe a BTS comeback in the near future.
Right. Maybe another McDonald's meal with a new sauce. That's all we can ever hope for.
Right. Yeah.
Question from episode 151, No Country for Old Pokemon. We didn't officially title this segment until later, but this was the first of what would become Yankee Goes to Hollywood, where we described movies as if they were scented candles. Our first movie was Black Widow. Which of these was not one of your scent notes for the Black Widow candle? Was it Summer Night, Smoke, Leather, or Gunpowder?
I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm debating on 2.
Right. How much do you remember about the Black Widow movie anymore is the real question here.
My first thought as you were saying the question was like, I had to have done something about like gun smoke or gun oil or something. So that one I think was one that I said. But the one that I did not say, I'm gonna go leather.
That's right.
Yeah.
Your notes were Summer Night, Teen Spirit, Gunsmoke, Rust, Gunpowder.
Nice.
That's what you said it smelled
Perfect.
like.
Yeah.
Accurate. From episode 156, Live Action Roll Potluck, we imagined what fictional characters would bring to a dinner party. In a Sherlock dinner party, what would that devious trickster Moriarty bring to the table? Which of these was not one of our suggestions for what Moriarty brings to a dinner party?
Amazing.
Was it plain unsalted potato chips? A bag of Twizzlers, but you open it up and it's really red vines. Just a big bunch of cilantro. Just cilantro. Or what he claims is a 7-layer dip, but it's really a 5-layer dip. Which of these did we not name in that episode?
I don't know why I vaguely remember the like plain unsalted chips. I think that was one of them. I can see him skimping out on the like 7-layer dip and only making it a 5-layer dip. So I don't know why the cilantro is sticking out in my head, but that also feels too obvious. I don't know. Like that feels like, oh, that's obviously something Melissa just made up right now. But I don't know. Twizzlers and they're actually red vines. That feels like something that character would do as well. The question of just like how did you repackage them?
Why? To what end?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the cilantro.
We did in that episode suggest that he brings just cilantro and nothing but cilantro. The new one I wrote this week was what he says is 7-layer dip, but it's actually 5.
That makes sense, though. I can see him like touting that, like, oh, I have a famous 7-layer dip, but like doesn't like as people are eating it are only counting 5 layers in here. Like, what are the 6 and 7 things? Like,
what are we missing?
Right?
What's his plan?
That was good.
In episode 159, All Corn, No Pop, we took an infamous BuzzFeed quiz that asked you to pick movie night snacks and then would give you the movie that you should watch while you have those snacks. One of the snack options was just corn. We've never forgotten about the corn, but the other options for that question were also bizarre. Which of these was not an option in that snack quiz? I've got 2 sweets and 2 savories here. Which of these 4 was not included? Yogurt, frosting, saltines, croutons.
Oh, this is a good one. Oh no, I don't know. Can you repeat the options, please?
Yogurt, frosting, saltines, croutons. Which of these was not one of the options in that deranged BuzzFeed quiz?
I'm gonna go with croutons. I feel like I feel like saltines was on there. I vaguely remember that, but it's not so bizarre. Like I've seen people like have a box of saltines and like maybe eat them if they're sick or they're not feeling good.
Yes.
That could be a good movie snack because you might watch something while you're sick, sick in bed.
Right. You might watch something sickening and you're like, I gotta eat some saltines to calm me down.
Yeah. Croutons though?
Right. Croutons is the one I made up. Yeah. The quiz was not quite that weird.
Good. I'm not saying croutons are bad. The best part of a salad is the croutons. But to just eat it as a movie snack? Weird.
Yeah. Very weird. Episode 268, Retired Local B-Boy. Which M&M was my top choice to take on a date? In a fictional scenario where I have to bid on an M&M in a charity bachelor auction. So for charity, to save the M&M's factory, I bid on one of the male M&M characters to take on a date. Mm-hmm. Who is my top choice? Is it red, yellow, blue, or orange?
Oh man, I almost need to look at pictures of them.
You're allowed to, because that won't have the answer in it.
No, I'm gonna go orange. Hey, let me look them up. Let's see here. M and M's characters? Is that how you? Oh man, I remember this episode too. So I think I went for purple, right?
You might have said purple.
Let's see here. How about let's go with blue.
No, I'm a red girl. I wanted the smarmy little guy.
I was debating on. Dang it. Yeah.
Speaking of little guys, in episode 281, a big year for sandworms. This is our most recent episode I'm pulling info from. What actor did we lovingly describe as a weird little man? Was it? Lovingly, right. We said he's just a weird little man. Danny DeVito, Steve Buscemi, Willem Dafoe, or Wallace Shawn?
It's not Wallace Shawn, because I don't even know who that is.
You do, but also no, it isn't. I will allow the date. Would you like to know the date of this episode?
Yes, please.
This episode was released on September 18th, 2024.
Okay. We're going to go with Danny DeVito. What a weird little man.
He is a weird little guy, but our number one favorite weird little guy was Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe. Yeah, this must have had something to do with Poor Things.
No,
Beetlejuice?
I had to hunt. This is why I was late today. I had to hunt through this episode because I remembered us talking about this, but I wanted to find the exact context. In our housekeeping section, we mentioned that our last episode of the review show was Looney Tunes Back in Action, and that in that episode, we decided we want a live-action Looney Tunes movie that's a psychological drama starring Jesse Plemons as Porky Pig.
Right, yeah.
And then in this captain's log, when we mention that during the housekeeping, I say, I want to see a Looney Tunes that's all the cast members of Kinds of Kinds. And that's how we got to talking about Willem Dafoe. I thought he should play Yosemite Sam.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff.
All right. My final question, as always, is a mega question. This is going to have like 12 options. You need to pick one. Across all of the history of the Captain's Log, which of these fictional characters has not been named in an episode title?
Okay.
Which of these has not been named in an episode title? Spider-Man, Mario, Sonic, Austin Powers, Shrek, Goku, Paul Blart, Snoopy, Venom, Ghost Rider, Megatron, Perry Mason.
I'm going to go with Austin Powers.
Kyle, you zeroed right in on it.
Yeah.
As much as we talk about Austin Powers, we have not invoked him in an episode title. And also, we've never had a woman in an episode title.
Wow. Austin Powers has them all.
Right. They're all with him.
Yeah. Good Lord.
So your score is...
I think I got like 3 or 4.
5. I'm going to count the one with the 2 sauces as an extra point. You got one of those 2. You have 5. So you and I are tied.
Awesome. Did better than I thought I did. There you go.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, as you were mentioning all those names there, I could recall like either the name or the artwork of
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, you got 6. I think I counted wrong.
Oh.
No, hold on. No.
I was going to say, I don't think I did that good.
You did not. Let's see. I think I changed how I was marking these halfway through.
Shouldn't be that hard to.
It should not. No.
Out.
1.
In the meantime, I will pull up
2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you did. You got 5. We are tied.
5.
We are tied.
Okay.
Okey-dokey, now the visual round. Let me preface this. I did not go back. Hold on. I can look up the episode title right now because I did pull this from a specific episode.
Nice.
Episode 219, Shrek Mailbox. There he is, as previously mentioned.
Uh-huh.
One of the first things you ever told me about Formula One is that one of them was married to Ginger Spice.
Yeah.
Which took you by surprise because you didn't remember Ginger Spice's real name or what she looked like. But as soon as you mentioned her name, I knew exactly who she was.
Yeah. Yeah, it was such an. I'm sure you've come across that episode of Formula One where they first like have her on first. I think you've come across that episode of Drive to Survive where she first appears on screen, and yeah, the camera just kind of lingers on her and does not have the like lower third like this is who this person's name is.
You must know.
Yeah, you must know. Surely you know. And
this is her. This is Dame Ginger Spice.
Right? Yeah, we're sitting there just like, should we know who this is? And then it finally says, and we're like, or we had to look it up. Like, who is Christian Horner's wife? Jerry, like, what's her last name? Hall.
Jerry Halliwell Horner.
Yeah. And so we were like, oh shit. She's a Spice Girl. Like, oh, what is? Of course, they think we know who it is. But I, not being a Spice Girls fan, had no idea. I was just like, "What are you not telling me here?"
So my final question, my visual question is: can you identify all of the Spice Girls? I have cropped a photo of them, so it's just them from like chest up.
Yeah.
So you can't see most of their outfits. One you already know, because Ginger Spice is the one redheaded one, so that's a gimme.
Yeah.
Can you identify the other 4 Spice Girls?
Oh man, let's see. What's the best way to write these? Oops.
I don't know.
Do you want me
Decide.
to? Let's see here. I'm just gonna do dash. Ginger is D. Here, this is her right there. But see, the rest I have no freaking clue. What was their movie called?
Spice World.
Spice World. I think I was in the room as Rachel was watching this at one point, so I should almost know. But I really don't. Okay, so let's see. Let's see here. I'm gonna go based on looks. You're scary. This is the first one. A. She just has again this like real stern look. Like don't when a burglar happens at your home, make sure you do what Kyle Higgins did and call the Power Rangers. Right.
A staring contest between this Spice Girl and Kyle Higgins.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Baby Spice is gonna be C here. The short. Whoop. That's not a C. That's an S. Is going to be C, the real short one. She's the baby.
Babies are short. That's true.
Okay, then we have Sporty and Posh. Let's see. They both look kind of sporty.
Mm-hmm.
They both look kind of posh.
We all contain multitudes. Women.
Yeah.
Inside every woman, there are 5 Spice
Girls. Which Spice Girl do you feed? I'm going to say Sporty is E and Posh is B here. So I'll go through the descriptions here that I have. So Ginger Spice is the one that I know. This is the redhead. This is Jerry, also in the red top.
That's Red Bull's mom.
Yeah. Baby Spice I put as number C. This is the blonde who's real short. That's really the only thing I can know. And she doesn't even look like a natural blonde. It looks like she has brown roots. So
it was a common look at the time.
Yeah.
You know, babies are always dyeing their hair blonde. This is all classic baby behavior.
Right, yeah. Sporty, I put E, which she has the like raven-haired one who's kind of has her like one of her shoulders more towards the camera, and it almost looks like she's biting her lip, but she's not.
Yeah.
She looks sporty. She looks like she's down to like, let's play volleyball and have some fun. You know?
Yes.
I've already described Scary Spice, who just like heading off big mugshot energy here. She's about to fuck someone up. Like, I don't want to mess with her. And then Posh, this is the black one with I can't tell if it's just the design of her hair, if she has something on her head like goggles.
No, she has like two little hair twisties.
Okay, yeah.
If she's wearing goggles, she'd be Anime Spice.
She'd be Steam Spice.
Yeah, and if only 15 years later they did another crop of Spice Girls, there would have been a Steam Spice.
Right, you're right, yeah. Yeah, so those are the spices that I have put out there.
That's your spice rack.
Yeah, that's my spice rack.
You evaluated all these spices from the rack up. That's how I had to crop this photo. For the record, C is not necessarily shorter than the others. She just kind of had her like legs bent, leaning over.
Okay.
So you got 3 out of the 5 correct.
Oh, wow.
I think it's fascinating that you're like the one with the intense gaze is Scary Spice. Like that's her maneuver. That's her gimmick. Is she just stares like that all the time?
That Kubrick stare.
She's just staring. Like, I love that. That's what you thought a '90s girl pop star did. Just stared constantly. No, that's also famous sports wife, Posh Spice.
Wow. Who's she married to?
David Beckham.
Wow. To be honest, that's actually who I was about to say. David Beckham. Wow, I did not
Posh and
know
Becks.
that.
Famous
All right.
celebrities. That means B is Scary Spice, which never really made sense to me. I think she's just sort of like, wah! She's like a little bit more like in your face and wild and fun. And she's not Wild Spice. She's Scary Spice.
She scares some people off.
Right. She scares normies, I suppose. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So yep, 3 for 5 on Spice Girls. Now I did the math. I had a 57% accuracy rate.
Oh wow. Okay.
You have hold on, I can do a math.
I mean, if there's 5 of them, right? That'd be a 60% on this alone.
Yes. So you have just edged me out because I think giving you Ginger Spice is as easy as giving me Jack Kirby.
Right. Yeah. I thought Junji Ito would be a shoo-in for you on that one.
I really thought he was the guy giving you a mocking, mischievous grin.
Just a floating head, all black shirt on a black background, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we both.
Go ahead.
For final scores, we both got 5 questions right, and you got 3% better in the visual round than I did. Normally, we play for pizza. I think whoever wins, my mom is still going to buy both of us a pizza. So
incredible. This was a lot of fun. I had a blast. As we always do. This is one of my favorites.
It was fascinating to see what you remembered from Captain's Log history.
Absolutely nothing. I say stuff on a microphone and it's just gone afterwards. I have no idea. No idea. Good stuff, though. This was a blast. Of course, we will be doing this again next year. If everything goes according to plan. And next up is episode 300. Melissa, I will be coming out to visit you out there in St. Louis. The Airbnb that I got has a theme. I will have to take pictures and stuff like that so I can show you what the theme is when we get there.
That's new.
Yeah. We had some bad luck with the first couple places that we tried to get of just like being rejected, or it's like, well, you say you're available, like, how do you want? I think one of the hosts even supposedly worked for a theater company, so that's why I was like, hey, you should take us. We're going to see a play at the Muni. Like, you might be in it. I don't know. But we ended up with a place that I think will be a lot of fun, right by a bunch of the attractions and stuff that I'm sure we will be exploring. I'm excited. I bought some fancy new stuff. Like I said, we got some of the mics so that we can film some stuff while we're out there. I have been interested in one of these for a long time, and I know you also said you might get one too, but I bought one of those like handheld little
you got one?
gimbals. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Thank you. I don't think we need to.
Yeah. So I bought this myself because I was like, I just kind of want one of these things. I think they're neat. They're kind of fun. So I have to now teach myself how to use these things. But yeah, I think episode 300 will be a little bit more like a travel log kind of thing, almost like a NPR style podcast where even after I think we might figure out a time to record some stuff once we're back home and all of that stuff, just so we can toss it to ourselves, like, hey, here's a little snapshot of our adventure at the Arch. Here's a little snapshot of our adventure at this really cool restaurant. You know, some good food that we ate, just stuff like that. So be on the lookout for all of that. I think it's going to be a blast. And I will get that out as soon as possible once we get back. But yeah, I'm excited. I've never been to St. Louis before. So
you'll have a great time. We have a lot to show off. It'll be muggy as heck.
I'm sure.
But
yeah.
I know you come from a muggy part of the country originally, so I hope you'll adjust just fine.
Yeah, indeed. We'll find some good ways to stay cool as well. So there you go. Get excited for all of that. Melissa, let's wrap it up right there. Where can the people find you on the internet?
You can email me at yourhostmelissa@gmail.com. What would your Spice Girl name be? Tell me.
There you go. You guys can find me at Yo Kyle Springer. If you'd like to stay up to date with all of the stuff that we do here at the Whatnauts, we are at thewhatnauts.com on Blue Sky. So please go like, share, and subscribe. You guys know the deal with all of that. If you are watching this on YouTube, go check out more of our videos. Right over there on that side of the screen. That would also help us out a ton. And yeah, this has been number 299 of the Whatnauts Captain's Log. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.
I'll see you next time, Melissa.